Taylor Swift was, I think, the first artist to have over $1 billion worth of ticket sales in 1 year. There's a Marriott very close to where Coldplay is performing. And I believe the average room rate is about 10 to 12,000. But around the concert dates, it's for maybe even as high as 2 lakhs.
That's the kind of inflation we all want, right?
Yeah, I guess that's a good kind of inflation. Singapore paid Taylor Swift's management company $18 million. It had an additional impact of about $5 billion.
Hello and welcome to Cut the Noise, a show where we decode market trends and uncover insights that matter the most to you. Have you noticed your Instagram feeds filling up with Diljit, Taylor Swift and Coldplay? It seems everyone is either at their concerts or heartbroken over missing them out. So I did a little research and found some shocking numbers. 1.3 crore Indians had applied to buy 1.5 lakh Coldplay tickets. And that got me thinking about the economic impact of these concerts. So I spoke to Abhishek about this and he said that he'll talk about it only on the show. So here we are. Thank you Abhishek for joining us. Tell me something. If you had 9 lakh rupees in your account, what would you buy with it?
I personally would probably buy a watch.
Okay.
Because I'm a watch collector.
9 lakh rupees for a watch, fancy, but we'll take it. Do you know the highest price for a Coldplay ticket being sold in India?
You know what? I think I read somewhere online that someone has paid as much as 13 lakhs.
13 lakhs?
That's what I read. I hope I'm wrong because that sounds like a lot.
So I want to know from you, what is behind India's obsession with concerts? And also, is this a new trend for the country?
Music has always been a very important part in our lives. People are spending and are more open to spending more on experiences rather than material goods. Right? I know I said a watch in the beginning, but that's because you asked me 9 lakhs. The disposable income as an economy, we're doing well. The disposable income of people has gone up. You add to that, people want to have these experiences. Suddenly there is choices available. So I am personally not surprised to see the growth of the concert industry in India the way it's growing.
So do you think that going to concerts now is also becoming like a status symbol for a lot of Indians?
Not to give away my age, but I feel like if you're not on Instagram, you know, there is some amount of that FOMO. It drives at least this younger, if I may use the word Gen Z,
Gen Z,
that, you know, it's as much as about taking your selfies at the concert as it is enjoying the concert.
Do you also see a similar trend rising outside of India?
Taylor Swift was, I think, the first artist to have over $1 billion worth of ticket sales in 1 year. It's clearly a global trend.
Bands like the Oasis announcing reunions. So that also shows that, you know, there's a lot of potential for economic activities, for money in these concerts. Your job involves analyzing data on a daily basis, like massive amount of data, right? Can you tell me more about the economic impact these concerts have?
I'd like to give you a little bit of a personal anecdote here.
Okay.
And although I did not spend anywhere near 9 lakhs, I have a 10-year-old who is a Swiftie and took her to Singapore. What I saw in Singapore, and this is first hand, was just incredible because the airline tickets were very expensive to get there. The hotel was very expensive. And then of course the premium we paid for the tickets. Singapore paid Taylor Swift's management company $18 million. $18 million so that she only performs in Singapore in Southeast Asia. So she didn't perform anywhere else. For that $18 million, they say the impact on the GDP of Singapore, and Singapore is a small country, was approximately, for that quarter, it added $300 million to the GDP of that country. The Eras tour of Taylor Swift started in March 23. Obviously it started in the US, and in the US alone it had an additional impact of about $5 billion on the economy. Where the average person spending, when you go for a concert which includes the ticket, attire. So you know, and I, again, because I lived through this, there is a specific attire you have to dress there. People are spending an average of $1,300. $1,300 per person, right? Which is north of ₹1,00,000. The Federal Reserve of the US actually made a statement. The cities where Taylor Swift performs, there is a very large positive impact on the economy of that city.
And you've personally contributed. I had also read that how even like, for example, Beyonce did a tour in Sweden. Their inflation numbers for May 2023, the month she performed there, they had an increase in that inflation.
Yes, that's absolutely right. That's a very good, very valid point.
Yeah.
It causes inflation, right? Because hotel prices have gone up, food prices have gone up, ticket prices have gone up. So yes, you're right.
So that's the kind of inflation we all want, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the good kind of inflation.
For our investors, how can they participate in this growth?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Honestly, there are not so many ways for investors to participate in this growth. My gut is, as this becomes a bigger and bigger industries and you see growth, you will definitely see new ways emerging where investors can participate. See, but for now, Devyani, I can think of publicly listed stock called Saregama. I guess you can make a case for Zomato, but it's very difficult right now because Zomato recently bought Paytm's ticketing business. So clearly there is a very interesting trend in the music industry.
Yeah.
Investors are playing it. For now, it's difficult for you and I to play it, but I think we will hopefully see ways that you and I can also participate in it.
Those are some really interesting ideas. It's quite clear that these concerts are now becoming an important tool to drive economic activities, and it's easier to make money from these concerts than to get a Coldplay ticket. Guys, before we sign off, please do like and subscribe to our channel if you like the content. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, if you like this video, please share and like.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome again. You should feel like she's thankful. Exactly.
Investments in debt securities, municipal debt securities, securitized debt instruments are subject to risks including delay and or default in payment. Read all the offer related documents carefully.